Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Lee from Creatively on Sunday 2nd of August, coming to you with YouTube number, I have to look, 36. Yay me. So yeah, still stitching, still coming to you with FLOSSTUBEs. Busy week. I actually have a lot today, so I'm going to try not to ramble and waffle, and I might cut stuff out when I get a bit off-piste. But I do have some stuff to show this week, which is pretty exciting because, to be honest, some of my weeks are a little light in exciting content, right? Lost something, never mind. Okay, so yeah, quick life update. Yeah, work's been really busy. We had kind of a fun thing on Thursday at work. We, this time of year in New Zealand, there's a growing acknowledgement of Matariki, which is the Māori New Year. It's all related to when the Pleiades, Seven Sisters, Stars of Matariki show in our southern skies. So most years at work we acknowledge that through some kind of thing. This year we went to our local marae, the Pipitia marae, and just had a couple of hours in the afternoon to acknowledge a new beginning of a new year, and just to have a bit of fun, a speech from our CE, and everyone got a little personal written note from one of the executive leadership team, so that was pretty cool. And we did some quizzes in this year, and in the to sort of acknowledge diversity, I guess, recognise diversity in that we're a multicultural country now these days, and made up of all sorts of different types of people from different walks of life and stuff. We had a little quiz, oh god, I'm going to get the acronym wrong, right? LGBT plus for one of all of the letters, quiz, which was kind of fun. Yeah, we just had a nice time, and it was just, you don't realise how stressful and focused on work you often are at work, even though it's not like stress, it's just, you know, you're constantly busy and full on and focused, that when you get a couple of hours to just sit back, relax, have a laugh, that you kind of go, oh yeah, this is what relaxed is. But anyway, that was kind of fun. Dad's had an up and down week, still challenges with the diuretic. He sort of feels like he's getting a bit tight and swollen, and it's not working as well as it could, which ultimately, you know, is a risk for him. So hopefully I know he has a doctor's appointment later this week, but if he can, anyway. The district nurse who visited on Friday said if he felt worse than he did on that day, then he was just to call the ambulance. So as of now, I have no idea what time it is, 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning, he hasn't called to say he's called an ambulance, so I'm guessing he's okay. So it's hard. It's just going to be an ongoing thing, as I've said before. We don't know where his new normal is, where he's going to land after all the, you know, illness and stuff. So, and like, he's not going to get better, but hopefully he gets more stable and stuff. Anyway, fingers crossed, eh? And then after I've done this video, edited and uploaded it, I'll put my stuff away, and I'm going to run the vacuum around, and I'm going to organise healthy food for the week. So I've got a few things I need to go and get. My favourite lunch at the moment, I'm doing some wraps with a couple of tablespoons of hummus, grated veggies, cucumber, carrot, chopped up capsicum or bell peppers, and with some, and I love beetroot, diced beetroot, and a little bit of feta, and that is just such a yummy lunch, and then a bit of fruit on the side. But a bit boring, but it helps if I can just get most things, like at least 3 days of lunches organised in little containers, put in my little chili bag that I take to work, and that way it's just all ready, because I'm not a morning person. Never have been. Anyway, so that's kind of cool. Get all that sorted this afternoon and then sit down this evening and do what should I stitch on this week? Who knows? My wee nephew, he's not really wee, he's 20. What year are we? He's 24. And he works he's doing a chef apprenticeship in Australia, in Brisbane, well, just north of Brisbane. And so he's been back at work for a little while, so he works mostly behind the scenes, right, in the kitchen. But he came down with flu symptoms, so he had to be stood down while he had a COVID test. But my sister texted me last night and said it came back negative, which we're pretty sure it would, given that he's been staying pretty socially isolated when he's not been at work. But, get the flu symptom. So that's good that he came back negative, so he can go back to work. And I'm also working on a wee design for the retreat that is at the end of October here in Wellington. So fussing around with that. Go big or go home? No, I need to go smaller. But anyway, that's it for life update. So, been 6 minutes. Let's get on to some stitching stuff. This is a cross stitch channel, right? Apologies to Mary Lynn. Last week I announced, I think either on screen or I said it, Mary Ann. But it was Mary Lynn. She reached out and said, "Is this me?" And I'm like, "I'm so sorry." I had taken a screenshot of when I did the random picker, but because I took it on my phone and I filmed on my iPad and they're not compatible because the iPad's really old and it's just a real nuisance to get the photo. I've got to actually manually upload it and then it won't sync across because of some compatibility issues. So I have to upload it to OneDrive, then suck it back down, and I just don't be bothered doing that. So anyway, so yeah, sorry Mary Lynn, I'm going to get that out to you this week. And that was my giveaway. Oh, it was just a pass the stash really, I think. Getting back to Wellington. And hang around till the end if you're interested in a wee. I've got a little wee giveaway, something from my stash that I'm not going to use. But it's not a chart. That will be to recognise 150 subscribers. I have no idea what I'm at. I mean, for all I know, I'm less than that now. But I don't really check. I don't actually care. So this is not my job. So it shouldn't require that much effort. I don't even know how you see the subscribers. I must have stumbled upon it by accident because I actually don't know how to find out how many subscribers I have. But I know I saw 155 somewhere. No, I got no idea. I don't care. So yeah, I'll do that at the end. Haul. Well, some stuff that's been on its way finally arrived, which is quite exciting. So I've still got a couple of parcels out in the wild. I know my June-July Fabric Floss Club from Victoria Modern Sample Shop only shipped yesterday, and I got I don't know when I'll get that. It is tracked at least, but it'll be weeks before I get that probably. And then I got the invoice for August. So it's just, it just takes ages. It is what it is. I think that she's pretty much getting close to hitting her max, I think, for subscribers to the various clubs, because essentially it's taking all month to ship stuff out. I think she said she starts shipping around I think Nancy said that they pre-dye X amount, but they don't dye everything until they've got people pay, because they she can't afford to have everything dyed and then people not pay for their invoices, so then end up with stock and stuff. So she kind of dyes, I don't know however much percentage, and then continues dyeing, and then they start shipping around the 7th or 8th of the month, but pretty much she's shipping in chunks right through. And I guess because of the COVID thing, you're not running to the post office every day. You just gotta be patient. But anyway, so what arrived, just tiny, yesterday I got the 2 outstanding but back ordered Avera Soie d'Alger that I need to finish my twisted band sampler from the needlework, Northern Expressions needlework. So that's cool. So I've now got everything. I will finish that in August, and that will make it around a year, maybe 13 months since I started it, but I did have a big break, so that's very exciting. So yeah, woohoo. But yeah, they've been on back order, and obviously their order came in, so that's cool. Last week or the week before, I on a New Zealand Facebook group, Upcycle Cross Stitch New Zealand, so basically people can sell or trade or whatever, stash or used charts and stuff, used stuff. So one of the ladies was getting rid of some stuff, so just picked up a couple of bits of Belfast. So that one is, I've never seen this colour before, it's granite. And I say that and I've probably stitched something on it right, but I didn't know that that's what it was called. So just a that quarter. I like having 32 count just to do things on, because mostly I've got 36 and 40 now. And then this denim petty point. So I have no plans for it, but I think it'll be kind of cool to do something on it one day. And it's there. So yeah, so I got those two. My Rainbow Club monthly fabric from Country Stitch came in, and it is not something I would probably have ordered myself, but I think it's beautiful and I have a plan for it. So isn't that serendipitous? So it's got 36 count. It seems, I think it just fluctuates depending, some months I get 40 and some months I get 36 or 35. This is 36 count, Edinburgh. For people who say Edinburgh, it's not Edinburgh, it is actually Edinburgh. It's not Edinburgh, but anyway, I know Scottish and English and shit can be like the whole Worcestershire sauce. It's not, yeah, you don't say Worcestershire, but yeah. It's Edinburgh in rose petals, and it is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And when you look at it on their website, I would never have bought it. Now I've got to hide something, so I've got a secret project. So isn't it lovely? So yeah, fat quart, and I have a plan for that, maybe. I'll tell you about it in a second. So that came very cool, because I mostly have neutrally stuff. And my silks for you came. So I'll show you them and what they're for. So first up, and they're still, sorry, crinkle. I'm probably going to this afternoon actually cut them all, and I'm not going to leave them in the skeins because yeah, they've got to stay in these bags, and I want to get them ready so I can just start when I want to start. So that's PR132, and it is a mess right now because I've been playing with it. It's not that purple. How do I get the colour? With some white. Oh, I don't have any white. Here's my zine board. It has got some purple in it, like indigo royal. So it's definitely got more teal in it than it's showing. Isn't colour weird how the device decides to change it? It's sort of like that. This is going to be for, well, this is for my life after death. So these are all for, these three skeins are all for long dogs. So this will be life after death. It is definitely not that purple. And I'm going to be stitching it in a style as a companion to Death by Cross Stitch. So Death by Cross Stitch, I had more, I use, what was this one, 132? That one I used PR124. And then I used a berry colour 3805 maybe. Oh, is that a colour? And then a bit of Krennic. And I'm going to do the same, but this won't have a... So I'll pick a contrasting or a complementary DMC just to give it, pick out bits. And also bling up, like I like if there are crowns, I bling up the crowns with a little bit of acrylic, with the same DMC. Anyway, and I'll be stitching this on 36 count antique white linen, just so it'll be a companion. So in my bedroom, it's going to be one wall will have death, and another wall around the corner will have life after death. So that's the plan. When am I going to start it? Not this year. Or next week. Probably not this year. Or if I get the fabric, I might start it at the retreat. I don't know. We'll see. I just want to get it all ready, and then I can just start it on a whim. So that's exciting. The next one I got is... Actually, I'm not even apologising for the crinkles. I love crinkles. PR137. And this is going to be ridiculous to show as well. So, greeny, aquary, it's not that blue. So where you see, the funny thing is, often I say it's not that colour, and then when I edit I'm like, oh, it is that colour. So what I see on my iPad is not actually what goes up, but it's sort of yellowy greens through to greeny blues. It's so pretty. This is going to be for arcade. Now, my plan all along, and I did this a long time ago, is when I think of arcade, which is this one, I think of Lothlorien. So I had thought at one stage I might do Castles in the Air. Anyway, I overthink everything. Rivendell, but no, I think of Lothlorien. So this is just some artwork that I found online, which are sort of images of Lothlorien. So it's a little bluer, like there's more green here, but there were some other pictures as well that had a little bit more green and a bit more gold. And I'm wondering if, and I need to try the fabrics. I'm going to have to visit Catherine or get a sample from her from Country Stitch. But I really, really thought about stitching, I don't know, it might not work, on Mithril, which of course Mithril is from Lord of the Rings, and it is the fabric that's I'm going to say armour, or the chainmail shirt was made out of. So it's an elvish material that's very strong but very light, and Galadriel gifts Frodo a mithril shirt when he meets her in Lothlorien. I told you I overthink everything, but I love this. Might not work, but wouldn't that be cool if it did? I can probably make it work. So it'll be kind of quite tonal and subtle, and then pick out as a contrast, like there's like words and stuff and maybe little bits to highlight, would be in a more soft sort of coppery peachy colour. I don't know. Am I crazy? I'm crazy. So yeah, I'm going to get the fabric in. As long as this was dark enough, I think that would look quite cool. Like, because the idea being that you're in a, you know, in a forest at night with little twinkly lights and things. That's what I want the thing to look like. So that is my idea with that one there. But I just love these. So yeah, that's where I'm going with that one. And yes, this is the sort of overthinking, over planning that I do for just about every project. But I really, really like planning and maybe it's because I'm a project manager. I like doing that shit. Anyway, and the last one I got is PR109, and it is not my usual kind of thing, but it is this. It is lavender and soft blues and stuff. So I'm not really a pastel girl, but this is beautiful. And okay, so I ordered this a couple of weeks ago, right? And then this arrived, and this is going to be for Castles in the Air. And I'd thought about getting like a really soft blue, cloudy kind of looking, but then this arrived, and I'm like, could I do again like real kind of tonal pastel on pastel? I I'm like, almost imagine that, like the idea that you've got these really soft kind of, you can get that sort of colour in the sun. Oh, what am I trying to say? Like some sunrises you get the real red, but other sunrises just really soft and all that, and almost like, you know, wispy clouds. You kind of get glimpses of these castles in the air, but they're there, but you can't always see them. So I like the idea that it kind of fades into the fabric. But I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's worth a go, right? And then I did a little sample stitch just to see if the colours are going to show up. So I did some swatches, and you can see them, given that, you know, you've got to have shapes and things. So I'm like, I don't even know if this is enough fabric, but I don't know. I think it could work. You know what I mean? I don't know. So it should be enough fabric. I don't know. I need to check the measurements because it's a fat quarter. How big is Castles in the Air? I know it's smaller than like Death by. I haven't even looked, but that's where I'm going with that. So maybe it might work, it might not. I might chicken out. And I don't even know what I would do with it because it's so pastel. But does it really matter? Probably not. Maybe I'd give it to somebody. Here you go. And feel free to frame it. It'll cost you $700. But anyway, so that is where I've gone with that. That is, I think, that's all my haul. But it's pretty impressive, right? I'm pretty impressed. So yeah, it was nice to get pretty things and have plans for them and stuff. So stitching, let's get on with stitching because otherwise it's going to take forever. So I showed you last week that I had bought, let's get my board, I had bought Gathering Berries, and that I'm just going to stitch it on a bit of a scrap, which I did. And I'm going to make it into a pillow, which I haven't. But yeah, so Gathering Berries from Luminous Fibre Arts. Again, it's a fundraiser for a family member who needs money for medical treatment. I think a nephew or something. And I think it's, well, I thought it was 32 count, but I don't know. And it was originally sort of a yellowy colour that I then coffee tea dyed and then washed in. So it's a little bit slightly dingy than the original fabric. I used Victorian Motto Sampler Shop Scrumptious Red from the Fabulous Red collection from last March. And I had thought I'd pulled out some buttons. They were definitely made very too big. Very too big? They were very big. So I had to go and buy some. There was 3 options at the store I went to that we had in the cream, whitey cream shades. There were 3 buttons to choose from, and there was sort of a solid white, a meh cream, and then these mother of pearl looking ones. But I just got these. But I stitched it, and it's quite pretty, and I'm very happy with it. And there was a mistake. I'm missing a whole row vertically, but I made it work because apparently I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm not going to show you where because it doesn't really matter. And I've ordered some fabric. Hopefully it'll work. I found some on Trade Me, which is an online kind of similar to Craigslist or Gumtree in Australia. And it's sort of a beigey, and it's got a stripe, a red, a sort of burgundy-ish stripe, and I can't remember for the back. Not sure what I'll do on the edge. We have very, very, very poor options for trim here, and places like Lady Dot don't ship to New Zealand, so it is what it is. I'll make it work, but you know, I'm really crap at FFO, so we'll see. But that was, yeah, starting to finish. So I think, what did I say? Started on the 27th, finished on 29th. It's got a lot of stitching in it. That's very cute. So I think it's lovely. Done. Dun, dun, dun. Out of order because I stitched this first, but yeah, after the video on the evening I did a little bit more on Tracy's Lynette charter, which is, I'm not taking things out of bags. Enjoying a Summer's Evening from Lynette, and this is my friend's kit that I'm stitching this for her, and yeah, you just have to cope with the glare, it'll be fine. And I just did more of the dark water, sort of filling in here, through here, and a little bit on the outsides of a lighter one. So coming along Trace. I think you're on leave, Tracy. I hope you're having a nice break from work, because I know work can suck. Next up, I thought I would channel, what am I trying to say? I decided that I hadn't stitched on my Halloween Quaker for a very long time. Everything's falling out of my bags. So Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio. I got this chart as a swap with Tara, the 805 stitcher, and we're in theory doing a sell, but we don't really sell. Like, I just don't do hashtaggy stuff, it's too hard. I haven't got enough time, and I just don't care enough about stuff like that. Yeah, so where is my card? So stitching this, I'm going a bit off from a bit of a variation from what is on the chart. So 40 count Halloween smoke linen from Country Stitch. Started this in April. This was my April start, and I will probably, if I stitch, I'll show you in a minute. I'm probably about halfway, I reckon, maybe just over. And I'm using a mixture of the called for threads, both in DMC and Fancy Floss, like Casic Colourworks and stuff. And also I've substituted some of the bright colours with Nina's threads. So I've got indigo, wineyard, phoenix and calendula. What I'm using for the yellow, the bright, so the gold, the orange, the indigo and the lavender purple, and I think the green, which is not much green in this thing, the green is DMC, called for DMC. The lemony yellow is a DMC variations. So what did I stitch since last time? So I've been working my way up this side, because somewhere in here I've got a counting error and I need to kind of come this way to work it out. So because I don't care, but I don't want to count and get it more wrong and have a weird gap. So since last time I stitched this big motif. I basically did everything up here. There's something I really didn't enjoy. I really didn't enjoy stitching. Something drove me nuts. No, I don't remember now. I must have got over it. I finished the hat. I only had the purple. I didn't have these. I think because when I'd stitched the hat, I didn't have one of the colours, and I had to stop. And I had got to there, so I stitched this one and up here and here. So this is new. On this, yesterday drove me a little bit nuts, and then I got over it. It was fine. So I think I miscounted on one of these sides, and I got all the way, and I was stitching one of these. I went, oh crap! I missed a row, so I had to unpick all the way back. But I mean, it took like 5 minutes to unpick and an hour to restitch. So anyway, it's coming along. The spider thing is still the thing I hated stitching the most, because it's not symmetrical and did my head in. This is still my favourite. I loved stitching this little. I love this. I think this is so cute. And on the chart on the front page, they kind of show that, you know, someone just stitching that little scene. And it is so sweet. I really do like it. And I like, yeah. Anyway, you probably looked at it enough, right? But I actually really like it on this lighter fabric, which is a little, showing on my screen a little bit grayer than it is. It's definitely more mauve. more lavender. I'm glad I picked the lighter fabric because I like it. I don't have to say why, I just do. Very happy with it. So I'm, yeah, probably about halfway maybe. I don't know, maybe I'll do the witch in the middle last. Who knows? We'll live life on the edge. And then I thought I should just have a little break from that, and I watched an episode of Westworld, which I'm way behind on, not that it really matters. Giving it another go. I didn't really like season 2, but I picked it up again. And just a little bit more on this last night. So basically, the burgundy that's through here, this row, and then around there. And I also did the Nile green, which is in here. That turquoisey sort of green that's in there. And there was a random one down here and a random one over here, the outside around here. So that's pretty much all I did, those 2 colours. So I'm just sort of picking whichever's the lowest. So now I've still got a couple on this row. So I'll pick, down here. So I'll start, next time I pick this up, I'll start with whatever that colour is and then stitch that colour through here. And then I'll pick, whatever that colour is and then stitch that colour up. So basically I'm sort of trying to row complete, really. I think there's only about 4 or 5 more rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's row 12. There's 18 across. That's row 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, so 3 or 4 rows to go. And then it will be done. So yeah, pretty cool. It's amazing how much nicer things look when you press them, iron them. So that is all of my stitching. And that was, yeah, Thistle, from the Broken Star collection from Carolyn Manning Designs on 28 count Brittany 1/1. Call for DMC. It should fit in a 6x6 inch frame, so I can just frame it myself. E.g. inexpensive framing. Started this in October. So I really, really would like to get it finished before. I will get it. Yeah, I'll aim to get it finished by then. I like to finish things within a year. So I'll try, keep working away at that, but I'm just going to, at this stage, not binge it, just do, like as I said, pick a couple, 2 or 3 colours, and then, so you're really stitching like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, single lengths of thread, and then put it away, because they're small stitches, so one length of, one single strand of thread about that long, goes, probably stitches about 3 or 4 of the blocks. Makes sense to me. Let me look at my notes. Oh, I did want to say one thing about the Nina's threads. I really like Nina's threads. I have some bad habits that I get away with that make people go, don't do that. So people say, stitch with shorter length of threads, and yeah, because the longer it is, the more it pulls through, the more fray we get every now and then it frays. But I can, with DMC, typically get away with quite a long piece of thread. And also I use one needle, and I use the needle until the needle works no longer. And I do use John James, and I think they can be a little sharp inside. So sometimes I have found anecdotally that if I use the full length of Nina's thread off of the skein, it comes apart. It tears, for want of a better word. If I chop them in half, it's fine. So I've just learned, I think it's just possibly the dyeing process weakens the fibres a little tiny bit. I don't know if she's using a DMC base. They're beautiful to stitch with, they're lovely and soft. So I enjoy stitching with them. But I have found I can't get away with as long a strand as I do with DMC. So I just had to modify my thing. I just do what works for me. And for that particular one, I just had to change it. But I would still recommend them. They're really lovely. The colours are lovely and they're nice to stitch with. So If you want to have a play with that, I think it's worth it, but just don't use really long strands of thread. And if you were stitching with 2 strands on something, it would be probably you're using a slightly bigger needle anyway, and you know, it's stronger. If you've got 2 strands, it's stronger than 1 strand, so you probably wouldn't even have an issue. But I think most people stitch with shorter lengths of thread anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That was just an observation, really. Okay, giveaway. This is going to be a wee giveaway from my haul. I think I mentioned this a while ago when I got some of the stuff. So I've got a couple of skeins. So this is going to be a it's for recognising getting 150 subscribers, so I really appreciate everyone who checks in and sends me nice comments and enjoys watching me over their morning coffee and stuff. You might have to have 2 cups of coffee this week because this is a little bit longer. But yeah, I have a couple of skeins of Victorian Motto that I'm just not going to use probably. I'm not a pink person. Particularly not candy pink. Now, I don't mind this rose, sort of more rosy pink, but I'm just not going to use it. So, and even if I did, it's fine. I'm not going to use it right now. So I'm going to give these 2 away. This one is called Cotton Candy, and this one is called Cranberry Rainbow. They're both from the variegated collection that Nancy put out October, maybe, end of last year. And I've used all of the other colours except these 2. So, and I'm just more likely to go with, if I was going to do a pink, I'm more likely to pick a peachy pink or a salmony pink or a dusky pink. So, if you would like these, they're 20 yards each, so it's a good whack of thread. Nicely variegated, so if you want them, if you like them, I can put them in an envelope with maybe something little treat. Please put a comment and mention pink, so that you like pink, why you like pink, how you use pink. If you like Pink the singer, I don't really care, but as long as it's got the word pink in it, I will do a search. Probably not next week, I might leave this one for a couple of weeks. I'll do a search on comments that have the word pink in them, and I will send these anywhere. Now keep in mind, I live in New Zealand, and if you don't live in New Zealand, it could take weeks and weeks and weeks for these to get to you. So don't plan a project in a hurry. Most mail goes on passenger aircraft, and there is barely any aircraft, certainly into New Zealand, because we're at capacity for managing people coming in, and managing the managed isolation. Flights have had to be cancelled and delayed, so just keep in mind that mail can take a really, really long time. But I'm happy to send them. Maybe my Fortnight Fabrics parcel that was last seen processed through Vietnam on the 9th of June will turn up one day. It's just there are no flights coming in. Yet my Australian stuff got here in a week. So a different Australian parcel, my Silks For You took a couple of weeks, and the other parcel that I ordered last week, some stuff from a week ago, they both arrived on the same day. So obviously a plane came in and the mail came in. So yeah, mention pink, go in the drawer. Please, all that normal stuff. I would appreciate it if you are a subscriber, because this is saying thank you to my subscribers. It's a little thank you, but if you don't want it, don't enter. But yeah, be a subscriber and of the appropriate age that you're allowed to tell me your address. Make an informed decision about letting me know. And don't say any of the things that a troll might use to try and win the shit from me. So, giveaway or win or prize or anything like that. Just mention the word pink. And that's pretty much all I have for you. I don't know what I'm going to do this week. I kind of feel like I might have ease up a little bit. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got some stuff to do outside, but it's dark when I get home. I don't really know. It's dark, right? But I might, put a little bit of it, get a couple of projects I'll put a little bit of work into, and I might pick up, what haven't I worked on for ages? Oh, I haven't worked on my Quaker Seasons of Friendship. That could be my 40 count project. So yeah, that's it. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Look after yourselves and your families. Be kind. And when you're stitching, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.